Sunday morning. These are all the eggs I pulled yesterday. All right, a little more light. Let's take a look and see what this looks like out here now. Need a little gravel across here. But there's that clog is now opened up for the most part. Looks like I should probably cut some more of this out of here. I don't think this is full of debris, just plant. I think the water will run through here. The cut looks open. Little killdeer out here. Surely they're not making a nest out here. That'll never survive, but they've done dumber things. Amanda asked that I put some of these reflectors on the other side of this fence so that from the door you can look out and see if this fence is open or closed. All right, there's two on the inside. We'll hit it with some light from up there at the building tonight and see if we can see it. When it's open, it's tucked into the woods. You can see we actually cut into the hill here. It's trenched in, so the whole entire gate goes in that cut there. So when it's open, you can't see any of it. When it's closed, you can see it, but you can't see it in the dark. So that's why these are both on the end. This fence here is over, I think, 30 feet. So we'll see if it works tonight. I think it will. That's all the dirt and material I took out of that cut over there, out of that culvert. It'll be super fertile. All or a lot of the nutrients from the ducks and the chickens and all the animals make it through, and it makes this big slurry basically in this culvert that runs across here, and that's what will be filled in. This will be full of all that stuff, so I will actually compost that someplace and let it all break down and use it. This pen area here was a bunch of random chickens from Tractor Supply a year ago, and we had them in that mobile coop over there. And then when it got cold, I put them in here, and these birds are all kind of lazy. They lay eggs just randomly on the ground rather than up in these and back here. So these eggs are always dirty. So I need to get some straw bales up here, maybe put a ramp or something. Hopefully they'll start to use these boxes more, maybe enclose the back of them a little better, and see, because right now these eggs are just so dirty and we have so many, it's not worth messing with these. And we just crack them and give them to the dogs. A lot of people say don't give your chickens chicken eggs because it teaches them to eat chicken eggs. I've not found that to be a problem. Maybe it's because we produce so many. But if it got to the point where we really needed every egg we were using, we would just come out and pull eggs 2 or 3 times a day. I'm sure you would get more that way. They'd also be cleaner. This is the very upper area. It was the first chicken coop that we had. We built it here because the pine trees gave shade. The geese use this little pond. The ducks used to be in here all the time, but now for some reason they've gotten over into this other pen and they're never over here. I don't know why, but the ducks can get under the wire. If I put some rock there, we could put them in here and they would probably stay here. But this pond catches all the water coming down off of here. There's a berm there that puts the water about halfway down the hill into that pond. But all of this comes in, and then I've got a berm right here. So once all the water gets into this coop and falls off of these trees in here, it goes into here also. So it's filled most of the time. Midsummer, I'll have to run hose water, but for the most part, it diverts the water where we need it. This here is all the eggs from today, and as I'm putting others in, some of them get cracked. So I just pop those, and those chickens eat them up. This is a little bit of leftovers and scraps and stuff from the weekend. And all the scraps go to the animals. Any meat, for the most part, goes to the dogs. That's the last. We had a little class here on how to make some tincture stuff. Jason came in, did a little class here, and he brought a bunch of barbecue. And that is about the last of that barbecue. The slaw, that was just stuff I had on the plate. Boy, that was good. We ate that all week long, or I did, at least. Ooh. I'll mount her. If she accepts it, she'll just lift up a little bit, and you'll see him do what's called a fall off. If she just lifts even a little bit, he can get in her, and that'll take about 1 second when it happens. And you'll see them literally fall off. Sometimes they fall off backwards, sometimes sideways, sometimes they cough, sometimes they sneeze, sometimes they grunt. But when you see it happen, it's very clear. I don't think she's interested. This one's pregnant. This one has babies. That one's mated. These are kind of old. They're not really taking. If we get anything out of them, it'll be maybe one more litter and that's it. We'll leave her there. There were no dogs out here last night. This area is not inside that fence line where most of the dogs are. You can see something got a hold of this broody chick here. So all those eggs she was sitting on, I popped them and gave them to the dogs over here. And there was chicken embryos in different stages of development in there. Could have incubated them, could have given them to a different hen, but I don't have any hens that have been sitting any length of time that are sequestered by themselves. I let her set because she just kept, every morning she was there, so I let her go for a week or so, and something ate her. That's the first predation we've had in this area right here. Saw a big old possum at the cat food last night, and I know people say that possums eat chickens, but I don't think they do. I've caught chickens inside of nest boxes at night with I've caught possums inside of nest boxes at night with chickens and stuff, and I've never seen it happen. And I've never seen a video of it happening either. I see people say that it has happened, but I've never seen any like solid evidence, so I don't think it was a possum. So this morning I woke up at 4 and didn't get up, went to pee. Woke up at 6, didn't get up. 8, didn't get up. And then finally at 10 o'clock I got up. But I kept dreaming, or maybe I was just thinking, partially asleep or whatever. I had 4 things I wanted to do. And when I woke up, I couldn't remember what they were. One of them was build a raised bed and then duplicate a bunch. I wanted to build 1 raised bed today. One of them was get my bows out and shoot my bow. One of them was move the sauna from the apartment upstairs out to the gym. And I still can't remember what the other one was. But the easiest one is to get my bows. Go get my bow and her bow, Amanda's bow. And I know where they are. They're in my office. Which no office stuff happens. No office stuff happens in the office. It's just where I put stuff that I don't want anybody else messing with or touching. Usually during a party or an event or something. There's the one I want here. And I think that's my release I'm currently using. And I think this is the release she uses. And then here's mine. These are both Bowtech bows. That's yours. Nope, I have yours. And then I started thinking, all my bag targets have just been out in the weather so long. And then our deer targets, the bag targets the dogs finally chewed up and the weather deteriorated. And then our deer targets, I think we blew all of those up with tannerite, just doing videos over time. So I was like, well, I could just run to Jackson and get targets. And then I thought, oh yeah, Jackson went completely woke, and there are no more archery or hunting stores. Dick's Sporting Goods no longer sells any shit like that. And Gander Mountain became Camping World, and Camping World got rid of anything like that. So there's nowhere there. We have a archery shop here in Camden. I've tried to go to it twice, and they've been closed anytime I've tried to go there. So I think it's more one-man operation, part-time job kind of thing. There's a great archery gun shop in Dixon, also not open on Sunday. So I might be able to get a target at Walmart, maybe. I can take a look and see. Then Amanda reminded me we bought a couple targets, these old school, old-timey targets at a antique store when we went to pick up the dental chair up in Murray, Kentucky. So those were out here. I am not sure where they are. I think I know where they are. There they are. Can you see them? I think you can see them. They're behind the exercise bike, rocking horse, baby dental chair, full-size dental chair, dental drill stand, 2 targets next to the lion, between the hammerhead shark and the lion. Pretty good description. Let's see if we can get them out. And there they are. Okay, so we have targets, we got bows, and we have arrows. Now my thought for the raised beds, I want to use 4x4s for the legs, and I want to use 2x6s for, let's go this way. There we go. And 2x6s. What the fuck happened in here? Everything's fallen over. And 2x6s for the sides and bottom. Now, whether I have 2x6s for the sides and bottom, I don't know. Do I have 4x4s? All right. There's some 2x6s. We could at least test it and do a short one. There's some 4x4s. I have to get to them. How do I get all this shit out of here? All right, there's some, I think we have what we need. You guys don't care nothing about pulling all this out. I'll pull all the pieces out, stage them, and then we'll mess with this and see what this is going to turn out like. If I don't have enough 2x6s, I can definitely do it with 2x4s. Outcome will be the same. All right, so 2x6s are buried under a bunch of other stuff. I need some kind of wood storage racks in here. That's a whole nother task. I've got 4x4s. I want to use these as the legs. I want to build this in a manner. I think I'm gonna build a bunch of rectangles stack them on top of each other, put the 4x4s on the insides, and bolt all of the rectangles into the 4x4s. And I want this built in a manner that I can pick this up with forks on a forklift or skid steer, so that we can take them and move them to the hothouse if we want to, and stack them inside there. So 2x6s is what I was going to use. Don't have them. 2x4s will do the same thing. We'll just use more of them. Then I go looking for my saws, and I find my saws. They are behind the lion, behind the rack with all the sewing machines. I have a table saw right here, and I'd love to have like a big Laguna, you know, tool setup, but this is a Delta. It was the only metal surface table saw, full-size table saw that they had at Lowe's when I bought it, so I bought that. So that would be a good hour to get it out, 30 minutes to get it out, at least a couple hours to do it correctly and get everything put somewhere. So another day. So out to the lean-to. There is my cutoff saw. I don't know what that's called. It's a Cobalt. Slides forward. You guys can tell me. And it mounts to this DeWalt. Cobalt makes one of these also. That Cobalt saw has a laser, which is cool. And this track is DeWalt, and it's already got the mounts on it. So this will be the fastest to get out. I'm not sure what is in this. I feel like it's gasoline, but I don't know why there would be gasoline in this. I was going to stick it in here, but I could see it breaking down and getting all over my plucker, so we'll set that here. So we'll haul this over to where we're doing the where the wood's at, and we'll cut all this out there where it's going to be all sawdusty. I often say when we go to do a 30-minute task, it becomes 3 hours, because it's, while it is actually 30 minutes for the task, it's another 2.5 hours to find all the stuff. And that's what's happening here. So we're going to drive over here. This is the lowest truck that I have, and we're going to put that track, that stand, and that saw in here.
Was still bent when he slid them.
And then we're going to drive it over there. Yeah, I know, we could just carry it, but I don't want to carry it. I have all this stuff, all this cool shit that never gets used. This truck right here, bought it brand new. Second brand new truck ever bought. Third brand new truck I'd ever bought. Bought them all within like a year. Less than 20,000 miles on there. Less than 20,000 miles. Because I never drive them. So we'll use them here. Oh, that thing doesn't even fit in this bed. Nope, it does not fit in this bed. This deck system's awesome. You can put a bunch of stuff in here that stays dry and secured, and my large tool bags fit in here perfect and stuff. But it really, you know, makes the bed kind of useless. But I don't use a truck as a truck, really. I use a truck, you know, to haul all this cool shit around. But I've got trailers if I ever really need to move anything. I do need mounting points to put cameras and stuff, though. Now, can I get from here to the garage without forgetting these are here? I think we can. Cool thing about having a giant building is that you have a giant building. You can have tons of stuff and all kinds of different things going on. The thing you don't take into consideration is you will walk 2 miles a day minimum. That's typically what I walk, is 2 miles a day just around here. So on video and stuff, you see me ride the four-wheeler a lot because it's just faster. When guys are like, I needed this thing, or I need this other piece of equipment, I can ride to it rather than walk it, and it just saves time. We get the projects done an hour. We save an hour out of the day, probably a man hour of my time a lot of times, just by riding four-wheelers or side-by-sides from point to point to get what we need. Here's a good example. my drink cup's back here. I'm gonna walk all the way through this building. You can time it. I don't know what it takes. I'll bet it's 30 seconds. There's all the eggs from today. What am I going to put in here? I don't know. Something with stems for sure. Probably woke AF. I still kind of feel this. Still works. I find with pre-workouts you need to change them every 6-8 weeks. Even though the numbers look the same, it might have the same amount of caffeine. There's something else in the blend that just works different. No, Amanda was feeding the cat leftovers apparently. Berkey water filter. We got a Kangen water system too. And here we are, rather than walking out back through the building. We're going to jump on this four-wheeler. We're going to ride to our destination. Plus the four-wheeler has racks and stuff. It's a good place to mount cameras and set them. If you've not seen these track systems, that track there, that sawhorse or tool stand, comes with these mounts, and these mounts lock here and here into that. It's a great system. It's awesome. I need to get more of these mounts because I have other tools that I don't use on here just because I don't have the mounts. Man, it works so good. There it is. So there's this piece here, and you have to pull that down. It's spring loaded, and then you can use this trigger and it locks in. You can see now it's locked in. Of course, now that I get everything set up, it's starting to rain. We'll see how long that holds for. I was going to cut these are 8 foot. I was going to cut them just in half, 2 equal pieces, but that's 4 feet. I'm 5'8". Amanda's definitely not gonna like these at 4 feet. Maybe I'll build them at 4 feet though, the vertical poles, and then have the bed coming around the rails at 3. That way these poles intentionally stick up 12 inches, because I'm gonna drill, I think I'm going to drill into them so that I can take PVC and bend hoops over them so that I can trellis things up from them, or you know, whatever. I don't know that we'll ever use that, but I don't know. Sounds like a good idea. Probably one of those things that never gets used. I know I should have eye pro on. I get sawdust in my eyes every time I do something with this saw. And I actually went to look for my glasses. Why is this not coming on? What's going on here? I also went to look. Oh, it's on. I just don't see the laser. Weird. I went to look for my DeWalt goggles because Adam Savage said those were the best. And of course they're not where I thought they would be. I'm sure they're somewhere in front of me. I'm just gonna make these cuts. Wind's blowing that way. Every time I leave this up though, after the fact, I'm like, man, I should have closed that. Oh, yep, I see sawdust coming down right here. I need to close this. It's gonna end up all over everything in here. I hate sawdust. And I know it sounds like I'm being a baby, because I'm being a baby. I just don't like sawdust. I don't like sawdust. I don't like sand. That's why I don't live on the beach. I used to live on the beach. So on the beach that the beach came in my house sometimes. Not my thing. Thought it was, and it's not anymore. Not sure what's happening here. I'm showing that I'm at 0, but my cuts are coming off a little crooked. Like this is the end I cut. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that thing is not it's not straight. Neither are these. They both have a little bit of a cant to them. What the hell's going on? It's gonna work. I just don't know why this is doing that. If we want these to last, I think we should paint them before we assemble them. That way they're coated in between where the wood touches wood, where you can't get if you do it after the fact. I also think you should not use these interior construction screws, and you should use a decking screw that has a good coating on it. I also think using the star or the hex or 6-point screws is probably better. You booger up less of them than using a Phillips. And now I'm about to do everything I said that I think we should not do. I'm going to assemble this first one because I want this done today. I don't have enough wood to duplicate these, and I just want it done. I don't want to pour paint and have to mess with it. So I'm going to assemble the first one to see that this even works how I want it to. And I also think putting a pond liner material inside will really preserve the wood, because I'm just using inexpensive wood here. I'm not even using pressure treated wood, and pressure treated wood is kind of junk too nowadays compared to what it used to be. So I'm just going with studs, which I have a bunch of, and just test it, see that it works how I want to with the skid steer, and that I can get it tightened up enough where it's not rickety and falling apart. I picture exactly how this is going to go in my head, but that's usually not ever how it goes in my head, so we'll see. Also, looking back here, I don't know if you can see them, I've got 3 massive trees back there and then a smaller one in between that are standing dead. I don't know what killed them, but we need to cut those down and split them up into firewood, stack all the limbs in some kind of manner that they're easy to grab, not all entangled, so that we'll cut the pieces we want for firewood, split them up, and then the rest of it will run through a wood chipper. So just really stands out glaring there, those dead trees. Here's how I'm planning to do this. Just build hoops like this, stack them on top of each other, put the 4x4s in the corner, and screw into the 4x4s. And then am I better off running my end caps on the outside or on the inside? And am I better off alternating every other one so that this one's outside, the next one's inside? You'd have to make different cuts, but just curious. I'm not sure which way to do that. And I was going to do these at 2 feet, and I thought them too small, but I really kind of think I'm going to go, these are at 2.5. I think I'm going to do this at 2 feet. Although size wise you could get to it from each side of the bed, and there will be aisles between them, so I don't know. We'll have to build a few of them, set them in different locations, and see kind of how we feel about it. We've been using those metal raised beds, which I'll show in a minute, and they're great, but when we started those were 65 bucks. They're $200 now. So for $200 I can more than duplicate beds out of wood, put a pond liner in them, paint them black, and just move them around with the skid steer as we need them moved. All right, so this is what I was thinking, and none of these came out square, and we're way off when I started putting the 4x4s in them. But as I tied them in, they kicked back. This one has a big gap here, but these other ones are fine. It's because this is twisted. I think I can just run pieces across the bottom, screwed up maybe, for the floor, and then I'm going to use a pond liner in here, I think is what I'm going to do. And you know, we'll cut drain holes, we'll drill holes through the wood and everything with the corresponding cuts in the liner. But I think I can just pick these up with the forks of the skid steer and move them and set them where I need them. We might have to brace, I might have to brace these legs a little further down to keep them from shifting. But right now, as it's brand new, it's pretty tight, and I think it's gonna work. This is what I pictured anyways. Now, as we use them, we might find a reason that we don't like them, but we don't really plant towards the corners. We kind of plant, you know, in the middle, two big things and then small things around them. So we'll see how these go, but this is exactly what I pictured this being. So it works, I think. Do the superstar. Too late, you're already videoed. You don't like it?
I think it's cool. Are you turning it over, or?
What do you mean turning it over?
So you're gonna leave it this tall?
Well, it was 4 feet. This is 3 feet. We can make it shorter. Put your... See? Now you don't have to bend over.
Right, but I also can't get anything up here either.
But we can get you a step stool. We can make it lower. This is 3 feet. This is... I was going to do it with 2x6s, but I couldn't get to the 2x6s. So just to test it.
This is good.
These are 2x4s. I don't think it needs to be much deeper for most of the beds than this. I think the way to do this is to paint all the pieces first, so that you get paint in between here for moisture and everything, or stain. And then I think we use a plastic liner, like a little pond liner.
Yeah.
Just buy a big sheet of it, you know, big roll of it, and then put it in, and then drill, you know, a good sized drill bit or whatever through. And this obviously has to have it has to have slats through here.
Right.
So put a floor in it, put the pond liner in. I think it'll last, and I think we can just move it with the forks of the skid steer at that point.
Yeah.
I think it'll move really easy. It's super sturdy. Now over time, it might loosen up. Maybe we have to drill 1/4 inch or 3/8 bolts that tighten it together in both directions. But I think this will hold, and if worst case, we can just put braces on the legs if it starts to, you know, shift or anything. Yeah. Most of the damage to the beds we have now are from me setting them down too hard with the skid steer or not realizing where it is, you know.
Well, and the feet on those are not
correct. They're super shitty, yeah. And they were 65 bucks when we started buying them. They're 200 now.
The forks will fit in between this?
Well, yeah, we can adjust the forks, yeah. I can make these any size. I was gonna do them 3 feet across. These are 2.5. And at 2.5, at 3, you could meet the middle from either side, but I just was trying to kind of keep them close to the other size.
Yeah.
But we can make them whatever size, and if we need somewhere to fit, you know, if we only have a little room left, we can make them specific sizes.
Yeah, awesome.
My guys, Jake and Pirtle. Oh, now you want to come over here. My guys, Jake and Pirtle, built this last year. Awesome job. Super in place, super rugged. Built badass. I'd like to have a few more of them. Those guys are not here any longer. Jake is out in Oklahoma. Pirtle, not sure where he's at. And anyways, we built this. They built it, and then I painted it, and Sky painted it. Sky painted more of it than I painted. And I'm gonna put these cattle panels, these combo panels or cattle panels, up on here, and we built them with the intention of putting mini pumpkins in these planters and letting them trellis up and over. Gourds, loofahs. We're gonna do cucumbers first. The chickens like to get in here, so I think I'm gonna have to panel all the way across and kind of cage it off. Not a big deal. But I'm gonna put the panels up right now because I keep putting it off, and that's something I've got time to do right now. When you get him spun up, he's too big. He'll knock your ass over and you won't even know what happened. I need one of those slow motion cameras. I'll bet when he bounces around it looks like he's smiling all the time. Can I get through here? Magnus, come on! Sometimes he likes to chase the four-wheeler. Sometimes he knows you're trying to trick him. Here he comes. He's like, nope. Nope. Going back the other way. Where's he at? He knows I'm trying to kennel him up because I need to open the gates up. I don't know where Magnus is, but I let Hera out. She smells something over there. I don't know if it's a duck nest or what she's on, but he doesn't realize she's out there yet. I wish this four-wheeler had a horn on it. There they are. Smell the butts. Smell the butts. He just peed right where she did. I don't know if you guys can hear it. You can hear their foot stomps. This is 16 long, if I remember right. We made it the exact length of these cattle panels. And we made it so we could put 2 cattle panels high and then run cattle panels across the top, with the idea that we would trellis the mini pumpkins and the loofahs up, and you could come underneath here and walk under them or be able to pick them, and then also run LED lights all through here. Maybe this year, maybe we'll get that done. What do you think? Is that where we want it? Hi. 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 But that right there is exactly what I pictured. And then put them across the top, and then if we need to keep the chickens out, which I'm sure we will, I'll just put another one down across here and do the same thing there. I'd like to have a much bigger one on the main entry and then the same equal size down there. And we happen to have all of these panels. Now when you go buy panels, unless you absolutely need combo panels, they get smaller at the bottom. If you just get 4x4s, they're way cheaper. You save a lot of money buying the bigger squares. than the smaller squares. And then if we need to enclose this more, I've got a bunch of this rolled wire here. This is 4x4, and rabbits can get through this. The whole back area is done with 2x4, and rabbits cannot get through that. They can get under it, but they won't get through it. Starting to rain again, but I think we can get a little bit of torching done. Clicker's not working in this, the sparker. Alright, so I got combo panel here, torched out, a bunch of weeds, propane tank's low. That's probably about it for out here tonight. I'm gonna go inside and get some inside stuff done. Brandel, you'll be so surprised to see these targets being used. You were there when I bought these. Normally sheep are acting crazy when you come up here. They think they're getting fed. You little boogers. Hey! You stay in there. Normally I give them sweet feed to occupy them. We've not shot in a long time, and Amanda I don't think has shot in years. So I definitely want to backstop behind this because I'm sure that we're going to miss this target, and I don't want to lose these arrows, so we'll backstop them with the rifle berm, and we'll work right here. This will be good here, this target stand. I didn't realize this was left here. This will be great because I can take that target. These, yeah, I guess these are tensioned in here pretty well. This way I can take, oh, those are just set in there, they're not screwed in. But this way I think I can lean this target that has no stand to it. I think I can lean it up against there. I'm trying to stay out of all this mud and stuff. I need to level this and resurface this, and I have not. Look at that little lamb eating that whatever that is, tall grass of some sort. I like it when you eat tall grass. I like it, like it. Do you move it, move it. There we go. When we bought this from the antique store, they were like, the guy that brought it in here said he's got the stands. We'll get a hold of him and let you know. And like a year later, they said, hey, we have those stands. Can you come pick them up in the next couple weeks? And I'm like, I don't know. And I never did. Ooh, that centerpiece is popping out of there. Hopefully it'll stay in place. But I think this will work for what we're doing tonight. I just want to make sure I get, you know, a couple dozen, or at least a dozen arrows through these bows. We've got great equipment, and the skill is perishable. Hey, I was just coming to get you.
I can't find my water.
Your water cup. Would you like to use my sippy cup?
Nope, I have a bar.
Be careful. You'll get pregnant if you drink what I drink. I was gonna go get a jacket.
You probably will need one.
All right.
It's pretty chilly out there.
Head on out there. I'll grab this when I come back out. Whenever I buy clothes that I'm not familiar with, I'll buy a large and a medium. And this is clearly extra large or double X. It's really loose. But when I find stuff I really like, I'll buy a couple sizes so I can layer it if it's colder, and then if it's not, I can wear the smaller one. How long has it been since you've archeried?
Years.
You want to do naked archery?
No.
You want to do?
Especially not right now.
I haven't shot since, I think the last time I shot you were there.
Yeah.
We can do naked archery. Strip archery. We both take a shot. Whoever gets the not as good shot has to take off a piece of clothes.
Nah, not right now.
I only have on like 5 pieces of clothes.
It's too cold. It's too cold out here.
But you're not opposed to the idea.
Just today. How's that?
Do you think this is too far?
I have no idea.
The last time I shot, I was shooting out the front door, over the Porsche, over the fence, into the target at the pond. So it was definitely further than this, but that's
but
been,
definitely in better practice than
yes, and it's been a long time.
Did you get your bow?
You know what? I did not get my bow. Go ahead and shoot yours. All right.
This is definitely the first time I've shot with glasses.
All right. So remember your odd vein, right, out, and you can rotate. You can rotate your shaft because you don't want these fletchings hitting your string, or you want them basically lined vertical up and down there. I've got glow knocks on here, but I'm sure that the batteries are long out of date. And if I remember right, your sight was not dialed in correctly. I would just kind of shoot in the direction of the big target and see where it goes.
Odd thing out that way, right?
That's right.
I can't even reach the trigger.
You can't reach the trigger? Okay.
I put it on the mount. I put it on backwards.
You know that this shaft also
Yeah, that's what
rotate
happened
your
with it.
length.
I turned it.
It'll also rotate in for your length. Real low.
Okay.
Super low. But you're on the target, which
Yeah.
is nice, so we
Which
don't
is-
have to chase the...
Different.
No, not really. You shot really well.
I have, yes.
If your arrow seems clanky, it's usually because your tip is loose also.
Oh no, not the loose tip.
Yeah, you don't want your tip falling off inside.
Although none of these are knocked right for the vein to be.
Sebastian might have been shooting them, I don't know. These might even be his arrows. All right.
Well, at least I'm consistently low.
Well, I mean, you just need to raise it. You want me to, you might want to adjust your sight up some.
I don't know how to do that.
Well, turn it until it, see which way it goes. I'm guessing that will probably bring you up. So shoot where you were. Your arrow's definitely loose. The tip, the field tip. Higher. What's up? Did you aim the same place?
Yes.
Where are you
Is that in the bullseye?
It's in the black.
No.
It's in the black circle. You fired 3.
Yes. The first 2 were in the black,
Nope.
Yes.
No, baby.
No?
You're still stuck.
My whisker biscuit.
Yo, babe.
Yo, babe.
Are you into whisker biscuits?
No, but I heard you are.
I like your pink whisker biscuit.
That sounds so dirty.
Hold on. Let me deal with this. Yo, babe.
Yo, babe.
Are you into whisker biscuits?
No, but I heard you are.
I like your pink whisker biscuit.
That sounds so dirty. I heard.
You're up.
Light blue, red.
Yep, go up a little bit. I'd bring it a lot more than that. You came way up. Even if you're not going to overshoot that giant S target, at the worst, it's going to be high up on the target. See where you're at.
Well, there's only so much more room to go.
I know, because the stickers, and they put the sticker on in the wrong place. Okay. I don't know where that went.
Me neither.
Oh, no, I do know where it went. I think you're way up on the target. You're way high. Yeah.
All the way at the top?
Yeah, you're up by the wood.
Okay.
Listen, I want you to, like, when you draw, once you draw, put your finger on the target, on the trigger. And then I want you to,
Pause.
I want you to hold with your finger on the trigger. You're doing this. You're not on the trigger. You're coming in, getting the trigger, and pulling it all in one swoop.
I am bad.
Do you not have a safety on that thing? Do I not have? I guess this one doesn't. I could have sworn I had a safety on one of these. You had to, like a 2-stage.
Your finger is the safety.
I agree, as it should be. Here, your tip's loose. I like the way you move it, move it. Man, I used to be able to shoot little baby food jars.
You used to shoot what?
Baby food jars. Across the backyard at Mom's house with no sights because I couldn't afford sights. You're in there. You're between the blue and the red. Or you're high. I think that's it. You're all the way at the top of the red. Yeah. That tip's loose too. More Cialis will tighten the tip up. Is that the best archery hoodie in the world?
It is. It's keeping my ears warm.
Keep your arm from getting slapped to shit too.
No, I didn't even think about that.
Nice. Getting closer to the orange. All right. Is that it?
That's it. That's
All right.
all my arrows.
All right. Gotta come from this side. I don't know if I can draw this. It's been so long.
That's how I felt. I was like, shit, I don't know if I could do this.
Oh my gosh, my bicep just fucking twisted. Holy moly. I don't know that I'm gonna get 12 of these. Where'd that go? It's super low,
It's
right?
in the white on the left side.
I see it in the black.
I'm telling you, I can see it sticking out of here.
Oh, you're right.
Almost as if like I could see it or something.
I saw that white thing there and thought that, okay. Boy, I'm way off. Holy cow.
You want to shoot mine instead?
I can't shoot yours.
You could half stroke it. I mean, that's what you would have to do.
That's what I give you all the time.
No, you don't.
You're so small. When I met you, I had to half stroke you.
Yes, I agree with that statement.
Well, I
100%.
Until I broke you in.
Stretched it out.
Always gotta take it to Dirty Town.
You're the one talking about pink whisker biscuits.
Your whisker biscuit's pink.
And black. The bottom of it's black. Nice. In the light blue.
That's what I'd forgotten I have this peep sight up here. You're supposed to look through the peep sight.
Oh, I have a peep sight and I forgot about it too.
Man, we need to watch some
Archery videos.
holy cow. We're gonna have to go find Cameron Haynes.
Oh man.
We're
Who's
gonna have
that?
to go hunt down man, I just had his name. What's that? Bruce.
Oh yeah, I loved Bruce.
He reminds me of Bear. Bear reminds me of Bruce.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I just moved my trigger in, so my
In my eye. Nice. Right in the red.
so the bow's still on. I'm just
Well, correct. You haven't warmed up.
oh no, I'm super not warmed up.
Right,
Man,
right.
I
You're
think-
not stretched.
I think I think bands would be great.
Oh
prior
yeah,
to this.
100%.
Some workout bands.
Yeah. Even the light ones, just to get your
yeah.
arms moving in that motion again.
I've got this corner too. I've got this piece that goes in the corner of your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a good anchor. Nice.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Grab a couple shots with your phone. You can turn the camera off.
Oh, text went out.
All right, let's go see.
All right, let's go see.
Did you win or did I win?
Oh, you definitely won.
No way.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, you gotta do that thing I like.
I do that thing you like all the time.
You do all the things I like.
I know. Look at how terrible mine was. They're in the grass.
Hey,
Hey, look.
they're all
I did line them up though. Look.
they're all in
1,
the
2, 3,
target.
4.
They're all in the target.
Yeah.
They're all in the target, and you haven't shot. I'll bet you it's been 5 years.
Yeah, probably 5 years. And my sight doesn't work. You're pretty fucking consistent once you get it in there.
That's how it is every night. Every morning, every afternoon.
Mine are at least all in a line.
Yeah, yeah, you could definitely hit a person with that. We can clean you up in no time. We go get some classes.
Practice. I don't need classes. I
Yeah,
just need
we know we've never had any like formal.
practice. No.
We need to get some formal archery shit going on. You know, they have a little league over there in Paris. We go in there and pretty much just dominate. Be
Yeah.
the best at everything.
I mean, that's who we are. We're just the best at everything anyway.
Grab it all the way up. Hold on, hold on. One hand on the target, one hand on the shaft. Just like at home. I seriously thought we would never use these targets when we bought these. I just wanted them because they were so old. Grab it all the way up, all the way up. There you go.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Man, we had all those targets out there forever. These are not. I thought this was like, I'm like, oh, the tips didn't go in very far.
Oh, but they did.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Are they through the back?
They went in all the way to here.
Here.
Oh, the tips didn't go in.
Holy moly. Are they through? They're not through though.
They're just deep. It would help if that was a more stable target.
Yeah.
For you to
So we
pull
had
out.
we had good targets. We had them out front, and then the dogs over time chewed them up.
And then we blew them up.
We had some good deer ones, but those got exploded.
Exploded. One more. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
If you take what you can inside, I will
Take the rest.
I'll get the targets picked up.
Sure.
Because if I leave them out here, inevitably, they're gonna something's gonna happen to them. If I leave them out here, they will be out here for 1 year.
If you leave them out here, somehow the dogs are gonna get out here and they're gonna eat.
You're never gonna guess what just happened.
What?
I rode through the fence and you forgot to remind me to get the targets. Your
no.
beauty, it just had me mesmerized.
Yeah.
What is it, Aphrodite or Medusa? You just Medusa. You just froze me.
Turned you into a pillar of salt.
All right, clown food. You want clown food?
Mm-hmm.
I only grabbed $100. Is that enough for fast food?
Yeah. Hopefully not $100 bill.
That'll $100 will feed us both.
Yes. But just barely.
It'll take most of it.
I'll eat off the dollar bill.
That's the other thing when you have a giant building. You don't just walk 2 miles a day. You look all around for things that you left somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
We're currently looking for what?
My cup.
Your sparkly cup. A Starbucks cup or something? Like a plastic one?
No, it's like a cooler cup.
Cooler cup.
Like a Yeti or
Where else have you been today that it could be?
upstairs. Or, yeah, just upstairs. In the garage, but I didn't take it out there.
Okay, so it wasn't hundreds of dollars or even 100. It was only dozens of dollars.
Yes, 2 dozens of dollars.
Was this really $24? Is that what this? What it cost at Wendy's?
So Wendy's was 13, and then
For $13, you got this and that,
a double burger, fries, and a frosting.
and this
And then that was 8 something.
$8 burger. So
Almost
20 bucks.
2 dozen, almost 2 dozen dollars.
Okay, next weekend. Do you want to go skiing, dirt biking, or kayaking, or do you want to do all three?
Yes.
They have all kinds of things guys make out of PVC pipe and stuff to hold their arrows, but none of that will ever be as cool as these horse ejaculators for jacking off horses. These are the best arrow holders.